Are you feeling stuck? Are you having a hard time getting a breakthrough of some kind? Today, what we are going to talk about is the brain-based tricks, tips, and tools that you need to know in order to get a breakthrough. How do you get a breakthrough? This is a billion-dollar question. So many people come up to me after my talks, in my classrooms, in my client set, and they say, I'm really dogged all the time with having to try to find solutions and answers, and I can't. What is it that I can do to make my brain perform for me so that I can get a breakthrough? Well, today I want to talk to you first about the power of the subconscious brain. I'm going to show you a picture of the brain and effectively the fact that in your brain, if your brain was 1% conscious, it's about 99% subconscious. You've probably heard the adage that you're only using 10% of your brain. Have you heard that before? Probably have. That is not true. You are using 100% of your brain. However, the reason that we believe that you are only using 10% of your brain, or the reason that Hollywood ran away with that, is because in the 1980s, we believed that about 10% of your brain was conscious, while about 90% was subconscious. Researchers now believe, as an example, Dr. A.K. Pradeep, who started the company Neurofocus, he writes in his book that he believes the brain to be 99.9% subconscious and only about 0.1% conscious. Why do we care about this for a breakthrough? Well, basically because it's the subconscious that is going to create the breakthrough for us. In order to get a breakthrough, we need to access our subconscious. In order to get a breakthrough, we really need to listen to our subconscious brain. And listening to our subconscious brain is a little bit like trying to hear your mobile device ring in the middle of a really busy party. So what I want to talk about is how is it that you can access your subconscious, which by definition is not conscious, how you can access your subconscious to be able to get a breakthrough. We do need to listen to our subconscious in order to get to the answers that your subconscious is always working on. Let's talk about that for a second. Your subconscious is working on the problems that you give it 24 hours a day. Contrary to popular belief, it does not turn off at night when you're sleeping. It's the opposite. That's when your subconscious comes alive and starts to produce answers to the questions that you've asked all day long. That's when a lot of people will say to me, I woke up in the middle of the night and I had to write down because I suddenly had this eureka moment. I suddenly had a breakthrough. I suddenly knew the answer. Why is this happening to me? Why does it happen in the middle of the night or in the shower when I'm driving home and not during the day when I needed the answer? Well, it's because they finally stopped their conscious narrative and they listened to their subconscious brain. In order to get a breakthrough, in order to have those eureka moments or moments of innovation, creativity, we do need to listen to our subconscious brain. And one of the easiest ways to do that is actually kind of fun. I suggest that you daydream. Daydreaming and drifting are actually really functional ways of calming the conscious brain, which is constantly barraging us with a whole bunch of narratives and language and questions, and activating that subconscious brain, which we know is constantly working to answer our questions. So start by daydreaming and drifting more, and what you'll find is you're not just more creative and innovative, but the answers come that much more quickly. Sometimes what's really functional for people who are desperately seeking an answer, they want to break through, they want to overcome writer's block, what I suggest from the research is that people unfocus to focus. That can look like daydreaming or drifting, but it could also look like doing something else. If what you do is you focus on something else for a while, or you go off and you play a game and you go exercise, or you do something that doesn't require such stringent cognitive focus, you'll find that the answers come to you that much faster. So if what you want to do is get answers, is have a breakthrough, unfocus, and that will help you focus later. If what you want to do is have that breakthrough moment, have a eureka moment, really uncover the answers you're looking for, what we suggest is that you be very patient with yourself. The truth is that the creative process, the process of producing answers through your subconscious, it's a process. It takes patience. And often when you're having one of those blocks where you can't find an answer, you can't find a solution, it's not because there's anything wrong with you. It's because that subconscious, which is constantly working to answer the questions that you're asking, constantly working on your problems for you, it just doesn't have an answer yet. So in this process, you've got to be patient. You've got to acknowledge that Rome, it wasn't built in a day, that you are going through the process, that your subconscious is working for you, and that you do have the brain power to answer this. It's just going to take some time. Thank you for watching this video. Comment below and let us know, what were you working on? How did you get your breakthrough? Did daydreaming, drifting, unfocusing, did it help you? How did it help you? I really hope that it did. We'll see you tomorrow.